Hey there guys, I'm back on another walk, day 3 of our Scrap to Happiness project, and I have to say, there are some even more cool comments I'd like to point out, which I'm going to do right now while I walk awkwardly behind it, and do a voiceover. I helped people do some TF2 contracts today.
I helped my cat sleep by loosely tying a bandana around his neck.
It was great watching this and talking with you, and I agree this is a great idea. Smiley face. And my good dad was I got back with a friend after we argued and stopped talking for a week. I was feeling generous one day, so I decided to spend my last few refined getting my best friend a strange shortstop, his favorite gun.
Wait a minute, I just realized something. Cosmic Afro. You don't have an afro in real life.
I must say, this is great advice for anyone with struggles in life.
Raisins!
I hope that one didn't go on for too long. I'll never be able to gauge it because, no, I never know what comments are coming up. Also, shadows, that's... Now it's too dark, I can never get this correct. Hey, but I'm not walking when there's a bunch of sunlight anymore for this one, so that's good. What I wanted to talk to you guys today about is changing your expectations when you're faced with a daunting task. Dogs, of course. You see, like this dog over here, it faces a daunting task. It wants to know who is on the other side of this fence, and it is very angry about it. Brrr, angry dog. I can understand that. And like I was faced with a daunting task earlier this week. It involved me picking up 30 extra hours up at work over the next 2 weeks because a lot of people were going on vacation. Not exactly the most fun thing, I would say. Now, the other thing was that I was put into the supervisor position, which I don't normally do. What I wanted to bring up, though, was that I don't like the supervisor desk, and I certainly don't like the fact that I'm a silhouette right now. Hey, there we go. And I certainly don't like that I had to pick up so many extra hours to help out with people. But I changed my expectations when I went into work. Instead of fearing that the task ahead that I was going through was going to be a miserable, boring task of the day, I told myself that, you know what? I'm going to make this shift work. I am going to do my best while I am up at the desk, and I'm going to make sure everything runs as smoothly as possible. And I don't care if anything else happens. I'm not meant for the position of supervisor. I don't want to have that position up there. So I'm just going to do my best with what I can. If anything happens, it's not on my head. Because in context, it was an emergency situation. But when you change your expectations when it comes to a daunting task, if you go into it thinking that you're going to hate it or that it's just not going to work out already from the start, you've already kind of doomed what could be a good experience for you. And you're already dooming yourself because you're already putting yourself down. You're making yourself loathe things that are coming in through the day. And I get it. There are some things that I hate more than anything, like the DMV. I do not like going into the DMV. I don't like when my old car, that's a kind of a clunker, when I have to bring it into the shop. Those are things that I loathe, but that's mostly because of the paycheck. From now on, when I'm going into stuff, I have the expectation that I'm going to go into the DMV, and it's not going to take as long as I think it will. Say I think it's going to take 2 hours to get through, and yes, in Texas, it takes 2 hours to get through your DMV, even on a good day. I tell myself, you know what, that's not going to be too bad. I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm going to get what I need done, I'm going to move right on out, and I'm going to have a good rest of my day. Or if I go into the car shop, I'm going to say, you know what, it's likely just a simple thing. And if it's something that turns out to be a little bit extra, well, maybe it's about time I start thinking about selling the car. I move on. I change my expectations on what I'm moving for. Because, like I said, if you just go in hating it from the start, you're going to hate it all the way through. You're going to make yourself feel extra miserable. And if a good surprise does come along, well, that's great, but it can always be better, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. So, my challenge for you guys next time is that when you're faced with a task that you do not want to do, I want you to change that expectation. I want you guys to think, instead of, hey, this thing that I really don't want to do, I want to say, you know what? I can just get it done. I can move right through. It won't be so bad. I'm going to make this task my own. I'm going to do this task my way. I'm going to get it done and over with, and I'm going to move on to bigger and better things. And that'll be the end of it. And when you think of it like that, those big bad tasks, they really ain't so bad. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'm glad that this one can be just a little bit shorter than the first two. And I will see you guys next time. Wait for the car. Hey!